In the podcast episode, Jordan Peterson engages in a conversation with Spencer Klavan, who is set to release a book exploring the intricate relationship between science and faith. The discussion covers a wide array of topics, each revealing the underlying unity between scientific inquiry and spiritual understanding. One of the central themes discussed is the historical division between the sublunar and superlunar spheres, a concept that dates back to ancient philosophical thought. Klavan explains how this dichotomy was shattered by Isaac Newton, who demonstrated that the same laws governing celestial bodies also apply to earthly phenomena. This revelation not only unified the understanding of the cosmos, but also suggested that the universe operates under a coherent set of principles that can be comprehended by the human mind. The implications of this unity extend beyond mere scientific observation. They touch upon the metaphysical beliefs that underpin our understanding of reality. Klavan emphasizes that Newton's work was not merely a mathematical achievement, but a profound philosophical shift. By establishing that the same laws of motion and gravity apply to both the heavens and the earth, Newton laid the groundwork for a worldview that sees the universe as an intelligible system. This perspective invites a deeper exploration of the relationship between faith and reason, suggesting that the pursuit of knowledge is not at odds with spiritual beliefs, but rather complements them. The conversation highlights how this unity can inspire a sense of wonder and purpose in scientific endeavors. The discussion transitions to the significance of mathematics as a universal language that reveals the underlying order of the universe. Klavan and Peterson explore the idea that mathematical principles are not merely abstract constructs, but are deeply embedded in the fabric of reality. This notion raises questions about the nature of truth and how we come to understand the world around us. Klavan argues that the belief in the validity of mathematics is rooted in a metaphysical framework that assumes an intelligible universe, one that can be explored and understood through reason. Peterson adds that the relationship between mathematics and reality is not just a matter of empirical observation, it is also a reflection of the human capacity for abstract thought. The ability to conceptualize mathematical relationships allows us to make sense of complex phenomena and predict outcomes. This capacity for abstraction is a hallmark of human cognition and is essential for scientific progress. The conversation underscores the idea that our understanding of mathematics is intertwined with our philosophical beliefs about the nature of existence. The conversation then shifts to the dynamic relationship between science and religion. Klavan posits that the scientific revolution did not emerge in a vacuum. Rather, it was influenced by the religious context of the time. The principles of the Judeo-Christian tradition, particularly the belief in a rational and orderly creator, provided a fertile ground for scientific inquiry. This historical perspective challenges the notion that science and religion are inherently opposed to one another. Peterson and Klavan discuss how the Enlightenment further complicated this relationship by promoting a secular worldview that often dismissed religious beliefs as antiquated. However, Klavan argues that the foundational principles of science, such as the belief in an intelligible universe and the pursuit of truth, are deeply rooted in religious thought. This connection suggests that a genuine understanding of science requires an acknowledgement of its spiritual dimensions. The conversation invites listeners to reconsider the often perceived dichotomy between faith and reason, suggesting that both can coexist harmoniously. The podcast delves into the complexities of consciousness and perception, exploring how our understanding of reality is shaped by our subjective experiences. Klavan highlights the idea that perception is not a passive reception of data, but an active engagement with the world. Our consciousness plays a crucial role in interpreting sensory information, and this process is influenced by our intentions and values. This perspective aligns with the notion that our understanding of reality is not merely a reflection of external facts, but is also shaped by our inner lives. Peterson adds that the interplay between perception and action is fundamental to human experience. Our goals and desires influence how we perceive the world, and this dynamic relationship underscores the importance of aligning our aims with higher values. The conversation emphasizes that consciousness is not just a cognitive function, but a deeply relational process that connects us to the world and to one another. This understanding of consciousness invites a more nuanced exploration of the human experience, one that recognizes the interplay between the subjective and the objective. Klavan and Peterson address the rise of postmodern thought and its implications for contemporary society. They discuss how postmodernism challenges the idea of objective truth, suggesting that all knowledge is socially constructed and influenced by power dynamics. This perspective raises concerns about the erosion of shared values and the potential for nihilism. Klavan argues that the rejection of a unifying narrative can lead to a fragmented understanding of reality, where individuals are left adrift without a coherent framework for making sense of their experiences. Peterson adds that the postmodern critique often overlooks the importance of foundational truths that have historically guided human behavior and societal structures. The conversation highlights the dangers of abandoning a shared understanding of reality, as it can lead to moral relativism and a loss of meaning. Klavan emphasizes the need for a return to a more integrated worldview that acknowledges the interplay between objective truths and subjective experiences. This call for a balanced approach invites listeners to consider the implications of postmodern thought on their own beliefs and values. A recurring theme in the podcast is the significance of sacrifice and the alignment of one's aims with higher values. Klavan discusses how the biblical narratives emphasize the importance of self-sacrifice as a means of achieving greater goods. This principle is exemplified in the story of Abraham, who is called to leave behind his comforts and embark on a journey of faith. Klavan argues that true fulfillment comes not from pursuing self-interest, but from dedicating oneself to a higher purpose. Peterson echoes this sentiment, suggesting that the act of sacrifice is essential for personal growth and the establishment of meaningful relationships. He emphasizes that when individuals prioritize their own desires over the well-being of others, they ultimately undermine their own happiness. The conversation encourages listeners to reflect on their own aims and consider how aligning them with higher values can lead to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. This exploration of sacrifice serves as a reminder of the transformative power of selflessness in the pursuit of meaning. Klavan and Peterson explore the role of faith in the scientific process, arguing that belief in the intelligibility of the universe is a prerequisite for meaningful scientific inquiry. Klavan posits that scientists operate under the assumption that the world is ordered and that their efforts to understand it will yield valuable insights. This faith in the underlying structure of reality is what drives scientific exploration and innovation. Peterson adds that this faith is not blind, but is rooted in a long tradition of inquiry that recognizes the complexity of existence. The conversation highlights the idea that faith and reason are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they can work together to enhance our understanding of the world. Klavan emphasizes that acknowledging the spiritual dimensions of scientific inquiry can lead to a more profound appreciation of the mysteries of existence. This perspective invites listeners to consider how their own beliefs shape their approach to knowledge and discovery. The podcast addresses the quest for meaning in a world that often feels chaotic and uncertain. Klavan argues that the search for meaning is a fundamental aspect of the human experience, and it is through our engagement with both science and faith that we can find a sense of purpose. He emphasizes that the narratives we tell ourselves about our lives and the world around us play a crucial role in shaping our understanding of reality. Peterson adds that the pursuit of meaning requires courage and a willingness to confront the complexities of existence. The conversation encourages listeners to embrace the challenges of life as opportunities for growth and transformation. Klavan suggests that by aligning our aims with higher values and engaging in the quest for truth, we can navigate the uncertainties of life with greater resilience. This exploration of meaning serves as a reminder of the importance of cultivating a sense of purpose in an ever-changing world. Klavan and Peterson discuss the interconnectedness of all things, emphasizing that the universe operates as a unified whole. This perspective aligns with the idea that the principles governing the cosmos also apply to our personal lives and relationships. Klavan argues that recognizing this interconnectedness can lead to a deeper understanding of our place in the world and our responsibilities to one another. Peterson adds that this interconnectedness is reflected in the moral and ethical frameworks that guide human behavior. The conversation highlights the importance of fostering a sense of community and shared values, as these connections are essential for personal and societal well-being. Klavan emphasizes that by acknowledging our interconnectedness, we can cultivate a greater sense of empathy and compassion for others. This exploration of interconnectedness invites listeners to reflect on their own relationships and the impact they have on the broader community. As the podcast draws to a close, Klavan and Peterson contemplate the future of science and faith in a rapidly changing world. They discuss the potential for a renewed understanding of the relationship between these two domains, suggesting that a synthesis of scientific inquiry and spiritual exploration could lead to profound insights. Klavan emphasizes the importance of fostering a dialogue between science and faith, as both can contribute to a more comprehensive understanding of reality. Peterson adds that the challenges facing contemporary society require a reevaluation of our beliefs and values. The conversation encourages listeners to embrace the complexities of existence and to seek out the connections between science and faith. Klavan suggests that by engaging in this dialogue, we can uncover new pathways for understanding and meaning in a world that often feels fragmented.